Assalamu alaikum. We are broadcasting live from the 11th annual Muslimah Today. I'm Khawa Solomon, and it was an absolute pleasure being here for the 11th time. MashaAllah, the organizers was very well set. But we also will be chatting now to one of the speakers, Dr. Naledi Pandor, who presented an awesome speech here today, which we had some great feedback with. But just on the forefront, Dr. Pandor, what was your experience like, your first time at the Muslimah Today Conference?
Well, I think it was very, very well organized. I think all the speakers were excellent, and there were lots of educational contributions. So a lot of learning about the Ummah, about the Quran, our own understanding of our faith. So I found it very valuable. And also, what I thought was very important was women had a voice in the space, and they felt comfortable to speak up, and that was really wonderful because often women don't get that public space. So I love that about the conference, and I congratulate the team for putting together an illustrious set of speakers, entertaining, educational, amusing. You know, it had all the ingredients. Yeah.
There was two ladies that I was chatting to earlier on before they left, of Hindu descent, and they were introduced to the event through the newspaper, and they were worried, you know, well, is it an inclusive event? Can we also come? And they actually said, no, you're all welcome, and they attended. And then I asked them what was one of the highlights, and one of the older, young, elderly ladies, 90s, she said, you know what? I never knew much about Palestine, and listening to Dr. Pandor enlightened me a bit. What is that? How does that make you feel?
I'm pleased that the organizing team have been very inclusive. It's something that I've devoted my life to, and I believe as Muslims we must always be an example. And I think the way that this is organized, inviting women of all faiths and making them comfortable and able to gather lessons, to interact, to ask questions. It's very, very important. So I'm glad that the guest who was here got perhaps to learn about Palestine, but for me, and I hope most importantly, to understand the linkages between our own struggle for freedom and the struggle of the people of Palestine. Because if you have that understanding, you won't quarrel with the people or government of South Africa for so visibly taking up their cause.
On a personal note, as a mother, a grandmother, and somebody that presents the family-orientated shows and holistic health, what is your message to raising our next generation? For our Muslims first, Islam teaches us how we should treat women, and was the first religion to put women in a position of stature and power. So, and I know as a grandmother, you have a different kind of love for your grandchildren. What message do you have to our children who are raising the next generation, and girl child especially?
Well, I think firstly, learning is very important. And learning from those who understand our faith is vital. What I hope our children never acquire are attitudes of prejudice or discrimination against other faiths. And so I hope that whoever teaches our children will teach them that we're a multi-faith, diverse country, that we respect all the faiths of the Great Book. But most important, we must understand and know our own faith and understand the Quran and its meaning, and not have a very narrow interpretation, which means often not talking about women and their place, important place in our community and in society. I think this conference was an all-rounder because it deals with so many issues, difficult issues, how women sometimes are marginalized, the pain of being a widow, how you could be neglected, even by friends at times, even family forgets that they need to give you extra attention. So all those lessons were very important. And I think for me, as I sat there, I actually thought, gosh, sometimes you think you know a lot, but you always have the opportunity to learn.
Lesson of Nabi Musa and Khidr, mashallah. What comes out for us was having you in the forefront of protecting Palestine and the voice sort of South Africa, and what we found as a Muslim run station with sort of an Arab connection, and a lot of our staff was also from the Arab world. The feedback that we got was, who is this woman? Who is this woman from South Africa that is Muslim, that represents Palestine? And we actually had such a lot of questions about, can we see more of the Dr. Pandor in the Arab world? What is your comments around that?
Well, I hope that certainly our brothers and sisters in the Middle East appreciate the diversity of the Muslim Ummah. That we're not just one grouping or one region, we are universal, and we need to appreciate that more and more. The other thing is that the lesson of the struggle of South Africa against apartheid was the support of our neighborhood. And so I would just make dua that the people of Palestine enjoy the full support of their neighborhood, just as we did. The countries next door to us were bombed, people were killed for welcoming and harboring our freedom fighters. We need to do the same all over the world for the people of Palestine.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. All the best and hope to see you again soon, inshallah.
Thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum.